I'd much rather prefer Blackett at left back than Bong, genuinely just because he knows how to defend.
I'd prefer a corner flag at left back, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, with Gaetan Bong, he is a corner flag.
I'd have my geography teacher at left back.
How did we keep a clean sheet against West Brom with Bong playing 90 minutes? That's pretty... It goes under the radar, that does, to be honest. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to RadsCast, the most inconsistent podcast in the world. It is meant to be a joke, that intro, but it's very accurate as well. Bray's just had a COVID test, which is why he's showing that. He didn't use Corona beer, though. But, you know, that's up to you what beverage you have watching this. Grab a beer or whatever you like. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, up to you completely. We're joined by, of course, Woods. I did this last time, didn't I? Yeah, to my right or left, my left, yes, and then we've got Bray here. Go subscribe to both of them. Make good content
do that.
every month or so they upload, particularly Woods is retired currently, and Bray
Woods doesn't upload, for he is a fraud.
Agreed.
No, you took 11 minutes to get onto the call. I was on here like 5 minutes before the call, before it even was 6. So
this is true.
That's because I was, as I said, that's because I was too busy editing my Swansea vlog because I care about my viewers.
RadsCast
unlike someone.
Woods just did a few vlogs at the start of the season and then just retired.
And yes, but what has happened since that?
We've been playing really well.
Exactly.
You vlogged the terrible start.
Huh?
You wanted views, that's why. I know it. You wanted views. Shame.
I recorded 2 wins out the entire season, the entire start of the season.
Bradford and what else?
Huddersfield.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good ratio, isn't it?
2 out of like 6.
Oh right, okay, that's not the best.
I haven't been to a game that we've lost this season.
Exactly, because you're a fraud. Imagine not being there.
No, I'm a good luck charm.
I'm just trying to work out. I only go to home games, obviously, on the plastic. I'm just trying to think about the games that I've seen, the ratio.
Imagine not going to Derby away. Like, come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Imagine not going to Bristol City away.
Imagine going to Bristol.
Imagine going to Bristol. Yeah, like. No offense to anyone that lives in Bristol, but you know.
Bray.
Literally me and all of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brace.
Apart from the northern ones. If the northern ones are watching, which they won't be, because they don't care about football. Hi.
So far, for counting all games, we beat Bradford and lost to Wolves. That's 1 win, 1 defeat. That's a defeat to Cardiff. That's 2 defeats. A draw. I'm going to lose count. 1 draw, 2 defeats, 1 win. Why am I doing this? I don't know, but we'll go with it. A win against Blackpool, 2 wins. A defeat to Fulham. So that's 3 defeats.
I didn't go to that game because I was elsewhere.
A draw against Sheffield. So that's
elsewhere.
2 defeats. 2 draws.
Were you taking residence in Fraudville Woods?
2 draws.
No, I was taking residence in your mum's house.
Wow. 2 draws, 3 draws.
Well, you must have been pretty lonely because that day we were in Nottingham.
Yeah, I was very sad.
A draw, a beat.
You must have been.
We beat Fulham, drew with Luton, and beat Peterborough. I've lost count. It's quite even actually.
You see. When we came back home, the fridge was open, so you must have been scoffing in there, Woods.
Exactly.
The cheese wasn't touched. I'm disappointed.
I didn't touch the cheese because I knew how much you love the cheese.
Well, fair play.
Subscribe for this top-notch content if you enjoy RadsCast. And then, yeah, this is the kind of thing you get.
Also, don't have Corona yet.
Yeah. If you want more RadsCast...
I mean, Cabango. I don't have Cabango yet.
If you want more RadsCast, less than a month apart at the very least, then let us know ideas, because that's the main reason why they're so inconsistent. So yeah, and we're not committed enough. That's the main reason, really. So yeah. Anyway, let's actually try and talk about what this title of the video is, so you don't think it's clickbait. Woods is just giving up with having lights on. Transfers. It's January transfer window very soon. We all know about potential rumours and that, so I thought we'll talk about some of them. We'll start with players in. Obviously, we all know we want a striker and someone to stop Gaetang Bong even getting on the bench. So I think we'll start with the one left back we've been linked with. Free agent. He used to play for Bordeaux. He's played for Switzerland, that being Loris Beneteau. I don't know much about the lad. What do you two think of him?
Well, he was at the same club as Yassine Adli, so I'm behind it.
If you know about Yassine Adli, yeah.
Josh Madger.
If you know about Yassine Adli, then you're elite.
Yeah, you're a channel legend if you know about Yassine Adli. It goes back a long way.
You're even more of a channel legend if you thought about signing Yassine Adli.
And Appa as well.
Appa.
And Haaland, or Haller, as I used to call him.
Haller.
We're going back a long way.
You could not pronounce his name for toffee. You could.
We're going back a long way. Only OGs will know about this. Go and find those videos. It's a challenge for you. Anyway, Wood, what do you think of Beneteau?
Well, he was in the Euros squad, I believe, with Switzerland.
He was.
I think, was he playing regularly for Bordeaux? I don't know.
Yeah, he played 31 times last season, I wrote down here. So it's not a bad ratio in the first division of France.
So if it means that Gaëtan Bong is going far, far away from that first 11, I'm all in.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyone but Bong. Which is just contemplating the fact that Bong's still in the team.
Even though Bong is rubbish, at least he isn't Tyler Blackett. Tyler Blackett was in a new dimension of
I think awful. I would have much rather have preferred Tyler Blackett than Gaëtan Bong.
I would genuinely have Gaëtan Bong over Tyler Blackett.
At least Tyler Blackett knew how to defend.
Kind of.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to do anything else, does he?
That's an interesting debate. I compared Bong and Blackett a lot last season. That's a very interesting debate. Let us know in the comments who's worse, Bong or Blackett. Very, very tightly nicked, that is. Who's worse?
I reckon Blackett's worse because he's got no pace. To be fair, Bong hasn't either, but that isn't the point.
I'd much rather prefer Blackett at left back than Bong, genuinely just because he knows how to defend.
I'd prefer a corner flag at left back if I'm being honest.
Honestly, with Gaëtan Bong, he is a corner flag.
I'd have my geography teacher at left back.
How did we keep a clean sheet against West Brom with Bong playing 90 minutes? That goes under the radar, that does, to be honest.
Can we talk about how we got rid of Yuri Ribeiro and kept Gaëtan Bong?
And Ribeiro, well, not anymore. He was playing in the Europa League as well. He played against Leicester the other week, Ribeiro. And yeah, we kept hold of Bong. And he was told to leave as well. Seems all the
Bong, you can find a new club, but we might
need for Christmas is Yuri Ribeiro to score a banger against Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh yes, we're bringing back all of the old references, aren't we? Right now, again, that's even more niche, to be honest, than Adli. If you watch a stream we did about a year ago, actually, you'll know about what that means. So yeah,
I think that it might just have been exactly a year on.
It pretty much was, yeah.
No, Wednesday. it was the 15th of December, so that means that this could be. I don't know how long it takes you to edit. This is being recorded on the 13th, so that means when this video comes out, it could be on exactly a year since Yuri Ribeiro scored that banger.
I actually think I might upload this Wednesday, so you know what? Maybe that's pretty. You mentioned that coincidentally the day that we created that artwork. I might even put it on screen, like artwork. Obviously, a lot of strikers have been linked with us. I think We've heard about Gale from Newcastle, Brewster, and Ida from Norwich. I think we could talk about Ida. He's not the best record. He's in the Championship last season. He played 17 times, scored 3 goals. So far this season, he's struggling for game time at Norwich. He's young though, 20. So would Ida be the kind of player that you'd be interested in, Woods? What do you think?
I think
Yeah.
we've already put it up on screen. We've already put it up on screen.
Yeah, I'll put it up on screen as well. But that's what we were on about. So yeah, continue.
I think he's definitely someone that maybe can bring something different, but it's just mainly the fact that he hasn't got the best record of scoring. And obviously, Cooper can make anyone good. I mean, he made Brewster like class player. And what is he now? He's scored 3 goals in the whole season, I think, for Sheffield.
Yeah.
And he was struggling to even find his first goal at Sheffield in the Premier League. So it's like,
yeah, they paid like 20 million for him as well.
Yeah.
So they're a flop, really. I'm not sure about Ida, to be honest. Like, I mean, based off his FIFA rating, he's not that good. I think he's like 68 rated. So, you know. Anyway, what do you think of Ida, bro? You got an opinion about Ida?
I rate him, but not that highly.
Right. That explains
like he's
it
good, but I want fast forwards. I want them now. I just not one of them.
I've not really seen him play enough, to be honest, to give a fair assessment.
Talking of fast forwards, Brennan Johnson signed in contract.
Exactly, Brennan Johnson, inject it.
I was going to go on to the.
He's a speedy boy.
I was going to go on to players out. We may as well talk about Brennan.
What the?
He hasn't really been linked with a specific club, has he? But like Leeds and that.
He's been linked to every single Premier League club.
That's exactly, yeah.
Can you guys hold on for 1 second, please? I've just looked up Adam Ida on FIFA, and I've just seen that apparently Norwich's badge has changed slightly.
Yeah, they've literally just took the black outline out of everything.
Yeah.
That is literally that is the Lidl Norwich badge. Lidl's
what was the point?
Norwich.
What was the point? There was no point in changing the badge.
Make it modern, apparently, but
to make it modern,
it does
it
look
makes it
quite
look
nice.
like an own brand supermarket knockoff.
They've simplified it, really, haven't they? But I mean,
yeah, well, that's like Forest deciding to go. You know what? We're just going to take the 3 rivers out of the Forest badge, and it's just going to be a tree with 2 stars.
No, yeah, except they get rid of the tree bit at the front, and then it's just 2 lines, and then it's just a pause sign with 2 stars on top, and then they can't be bothered to add the sign. So there's just 2 lines and then 2 dots above it.
It's still got that on Twitter as well. It's a regular badge, like
fraud.
I don't know what's
fraudulent
going on
Norwich.
Yeah, Brennan. He's been. I said not been linked to a specific club because he's been linked with every club pretty much.
He's been linked with Brentford mostly.
He's been linked with every club.
Brentford want all of our players.
Yes, they do.
He's been linked to every club who's got a relatively young squad. I swear.
I mean, he's been given a lot of stick, and I think I gave him a bit of stick in the past, but like nothing major. But he deserves his young play. You know, he's going to make mistakes. I don't personally think he should go to the top flight yet. I think he should keep developing with us.
I think he's, even though he's really good at the moment, I don't think he's ready for that step up yet.
Yeah, I agree.
He has a lot of mistakes or a lot of things he keeps doing repetitively that he can obviously improve on, but I think it's just too quick of a step up because he played League One last season. He's coming into the Championship playing every game. If he goes to a Premier League club being in half a season of the Championship, I think he's probably not going to get game time. Especially with the club that's been linked, like Brentford, they've got good players. You've got Leeds, Who have they got? They've got
Rafinha,
Rafinha, who plays in that position. Who
Jack
plays on the left
Harrison as
wing.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got Bamford up top.
I don't think he would start for really any Premier League club, really.
He'd be a bench player that comes on,
Yeah.
and that's not what you want as for a young player. You don't want him to be a bench player.
It's perfect with Forest right now. A club that are not the best club in the Championship, but can compete and is on the up. I think it would be a bad decision if he was to go. I mean, if he was to go, how much would you want to get for him, realistically?
25 million minimum.
I can see why you'd say that, yeah. I mean, whether we get that or not is another question. But, I mean, honestly, you could say it's a lot, but this guy's going to be a very good player. It's clear to see. He's
already played for the Welsh national team.
Yeah, exactly. We look at like Cash. I think we should have got more for Cash really than we did. And if Cash is worth 16 million, then I think Brennan can be worth that and more, to be honest. So
yeah,
I think we can come back to more players out, I suppose. We'll continue with that. I mean, obviously the main one, he's not actually our player, but we cannot lose him, is Jed Spence. Absolutely brilliant, as we all know. We do have options if he was to go, but it would be a massive blow if we did lose him, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, who have we got in place for him if he does go? We've got Jenkinson. Richardson's on loan to Notts.
We've got Drager, haven't we?
Drager.
Technically, Tutu's a right back, technically.
Tutu. We've got 4 players that can replace him, but I don't think anyone's on that level at the moment. At the moment, anyway. I mean, we haven't seen Drager play.
Been on the bench once, and he's just not had a look.
Yeah, he hasn't played yet, but he's been playing for their national team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Which is the same as Dale Taylor. He's not played a single first team for Forest, but yet he's made his international debut.
Says a lot about Northern Ireland, really, doesn't it? Their strength and depth.
So,
Yeah, I mean, see, with Low available, you could play Low at left back and Tutu at right back, but then that leaves with the same conundrum of, well, what if Low gets injured? Then you haven't got a left back. Then you've got to put Bonk there again. So this is why we have to sign a left back, regardless, just for depth, because I don't see, when Low and Spence were fit, we particularly at the start of Steve Cooper, we were playing 3 centre backs, and we had 1 defender on the bench, which I like, but that defender was always Bong, which always concerned me. I know we've got like Mbisa and Eli injured, but you could put someone else on the bench surely ahead of Bong.
I mean, you had Richardson, you had
Drager as well.
Drager, you had all these other defenders that you could have put on, but you still. I mean, you can kind of see why he put Bong on, because he can play centre back. Do you trust him to play centre back? That's the problem.
No,
because he can't even play as a left back.
Maybe because of his experience, but he still isn't.
His experience fails him quite a bit of the time, as he can't seem to defend, and he always loses his man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just not good enough, quite frankly. When we've got Bong on the pitch, you feel like you're playing with 10 men already, don't you? But yeah, I mean, obviously, I've written down Low, but I don't think Low's going to go back, because in ways I think him getting injured is kind of a blessing, because they won't recall him until the end of the season. And I honestly think he might even sign for us, to be honest.
He said when he first signed that he anticipates to stay on past this season. I mean, who would blame him? We've got Bong. So it's like,
just coming in straight away. Oh, who's the left back? Bong. Well, I've got to play, surely.
I've got to be winging after this season anyway.
Yeah, look at the options that Sheffield have at left back. They've got loads, so like it makes sense to stay
like their 4th choice left back or something like that. So it's like, if he's not going to play, why not come here where he's going to play every game?
We've got Stevens, Osborne, we've got Noington Davis as well, I think. So we've got loads of options. we'll let Bray talk. Zink, it looks like he's going to be staying. What do you think of Zink, Bray? I mean, we already know how good he is, but do you think he should be potentially signing for us?
He's not going to.
I don't think he will.
But he's amazing there. He's an absolutely amazing player. He is one of the most consistent players that we've had in ages. He always looks like he's going to change something. Like sometimes he doesn't, but he always looks on it. You never see him because you see Sammy Amiobi is one example of a player who could absolutely light it up on his day, but his day was a Thursday and we play on a Saturday. But Philip Zinkernagel, every time he gets on the ball, you favour him like, could make that long pass, could beat his man, go on a dribble, go on a run. He's outside the box. He could have a go, make something happen. Every time. And that's one of the players that we desperately needed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Zinkernagel, obviously Watford do have better players than him. I mean, I put it on a post recently that Watford have better players than him in that position. I mean, they've got Ismaila Sarr for one. I think
the main problem with Watford is that their squad is going to get absolutely clapped by AFCON, considering about half of their first team squad is African and they'll go and play for their countries in January. So they'll be like, we've got a few players out on loan. Yeah, back in you come. No more Philip Zinkernagel for Forest.
But Zinkernagel agreed with Watford that he would not go back until the end of the season.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's what they agreed. They said that when they were doing the loan thing, they said, I want to play the season out, as I don't want to be here for half the season and then come back.
Yeah, if he has said that, that's fantastic.
So I think he said that in an interview recently.
I'm just looking at Watford's options up front. Like a lot of their attacking options are just strikers. They're not actually wingers. Like they got Sarr and Seema, and all the other options are just forwards, out and out strikers. Like there's King, Pedro, Hernandez, Dennis. Obviously, has been great for them. Fletcher is more just a reserve. But like they haven't really
scouted him.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, but they haven't really got anyone else on the wings, so it's kind of weird. I mean, I obviously, believe it or not, I've not been watching Watford incredibly closely, but I don't know how they line up every week when it comes to their wingers. But it's
I think they play that Dennis and Ismaila Sarr with I think it's King up top, I believe.
Yeah, they play King. I know he gets quite a bit. Like their game against Brentford, for instance, they played.
When they playing Dennis up top.
They played. I don't know who that number 25 is. Oh, Dennis. Yeah. So they haven't written Dennis. Dennis, King, cleverly as a cam, and then Hernandez. Interesting.
What formation?
It was technically a 4-2-3-1.
Right.
So their strikers can play out on the wing. You mean you've got that João Pedro, he can play out on the wing. You've got Dennis who can play out the wing. I think our only hope is if Watford don't go down.
Yeah.
I think because I think they buy Zinkernagel for like 15 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. It's a lot of money, you know. And he only signed in January. But like I'm just looking back when they last won. That was actually when they beat United 4-1. But like they played King, Dennis on the wing, and then Sarr. So they tend to play strikers in different positions, which is why obviously they lend out Zink. But yeah, it's weird, really.
And obviously they've got Ranieri now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, I think Watford will stay up. To be honest, they've lost 4 in a row, but I think they could survive.
I mean, they proved it last season that they've got a too good of a squad to be in the Championship.
One player I've seen, and he's it appears to me one of those players where he just signed and he just doesn't play for us is obviously Zander Silva. He's been linked with a move back to the side he was on loan with last season in Greece. I'm not going to try and say it, but he's been linked with a loan move there after just playing 20 minutes of football for us. What do you think of Silva, lads? Like, it's a really weird one, really, isn't it?
Well, he had one shot for us, and it went out for a throw-in, so I'm not ever so convinced.
Yeah.
I think for the shot that he had, he actually played like semi-decent.
I reckon he was pretty good. He
Yeah, I
can't
agree,
shoot, but he's pretty good.
I don't think he was that bad.
I think some of the runs he was making to pull the defenders away was good. I mean, when he did eventually get the ball, obviously it went out, but
Bang.
I
He
think
could have hit someone with the ground. It was dangerous play.
It was a tough game to play, and 2-0 down, 7th game of the season. Managers on absolute thin ice. It was a difficult situation to play in. I admit, I'd love to see what he could do for us. I don't think he is going to ever make it for us. It's a bit like Carvalho. Like, who knows what they'd actually do if he actually got on the pitch with Cooper as the manager. Like, he might succeed. If he was to flop, then I think that's confirmation that it just ain't going to work for him at Forest. But I mean, I don't think he's going to play for us, to be honest. Again, he might play against Arsenal, but
imagine Zander Silva last-minute winner against Arsenal.
Zander Silva and Carvalho link up. Yeah,
I think one of the problem is that we seem to be playing more. I mean, obviously we're playing a 4-2-3-1, and it seems that Zinkenagel's more is that mid. No, he's not.
That's not what we're playing.
Who were?
Well, certainly not last game.
I don't know. Obviously you was there, so.
Ryan Yates was playing as a centre half. He
kept drifting back into centre back, didn't he?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to see it because 3 o'clock kickoff.
I watched it.
How? VPN?
Yeah. I did not see
right.
I did a video on it.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? I meant to watch that, but then I had to go and do something.
Fantastic.
I need to remind me to watch that at the end of the thing because I want to watch it.
Go and watch it, everyone, if you haven't already. Bray hasn't. Shocking.
But yeah, he kept on. He was holding his position really well, and I remember from the first minute or something, I could see him, and I was thinking, Yates, he's playing a bit deep, isn't he? And he just stayed there, and he did a really good job. He got really unlucky with that goal with a massive deflection, just really hit him. There wasn't a lot he could do about it, but he didn't really go to anything. Well, I mean, it led to a goal, but he didn't really change the game. And he looked really solid there, and I would be very happy to see him utilised there again.
I think the reason why... Sorry, lads.
He looked very comfortable on the ball.
I think the reason why he was playing now, actually, is because I think Cooper said we wanted to play 3 at the back this game, but Figs was injured, or he was ill, so he couldn't play Figs, and there was no other centre-back. So he thought, right, well, I'll just maybe utilise Yatesy. He can just
put Ryan in there.
He can play midfield, but he keeps dropping back every so often. I think it worked pretty well, to be honest.
He's very much the drop. He's got the drop between defenders instruction on FIFA nailed to a T.
I think he came on as a centre back against Bradford, and he did quite well.
He did, didn't he?
I know he came on against Bradford. Yeah, I can't remember though.
But Brennan Johnson was their fullbacks could not handle him at all, and I mean at all. Like he was, they just couldn't get near him. I think that at one point they did something. They ended up just pushing him over. They just tried to kick him. They tried to foul him because usually you get teams just fouling him over and over again because they can't cope with him. But they couldn't even foul him because they couldn't get near him. He had a brilliant game, Brennan Johnson. He got his assist for Grabban from it, and he got a goal. So he had a brilliant performance in my eyes.
I think we've only got a few more players we can actually discuss, really. I think, obviously, we mentioned him earlier, actually, about Jordan Richardson going to Notts for a month, which is, I never get those transfers. But, I mean, what do you think? Do you think he should have been loaned out?
I think if it's getting, I mean, for all we know, he could be coming in place for Jed if he does go back.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he's just gone out on loan to get him playing regularly, get him that game time for him to then come back and then play, then you can kind of understand why. But if it's just for like, oh, he's just going out on a month because we want him to, and not because Jed's going back, it's kind of a bit like, well, why though?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he needs game time, really, doesn't he? But honestly, I would prefer him to be on the bench than Bong. Let's just say that. Like, I personally probably would have kept him. Yeah, and he played against Wolves and Bradford at left back, Richardson, and I think he came with the bench like twice at the start of the year as well. So in the league,
he came off the bench for Huddersfield.
Yeah, Huddersfield. Remember?
Jed. I remember that game very, very well because he went. What did he go like? He went like that to home fans.
Did he?
And then he was walking past the Forest fans going like that.
What, Jed?
Yeah.
Great.
Against Huddersfield.
I love that from a lone player as well.
I think that was his first game, I believe. I could be wrong.
It was Cardiff was his first game, wasn't it? Then we had Bowen, and he couldn't play, obviously.
Yeah.
For those wondering why Woods is now in a different camera angle, it's because we record these on Zoom and I use the free version. So yeah, that means that it just decides to just give up after 40 minutes and have to start again. So yeah, apologies for that. Anyway, there's only talk about a few more players. I think Jay Fulton. This is one that's been mentioned a few times. I don't really know why we'd sign him personally, because midfield probably is our strongest position in terms of the depth. Garner, Yates, Hayder, Kaffer even now, and who else? Goldback even. I don't really know why we'd sign Fulton. Would you be against it, Woods?
I think he's not getting game time at Swansea, but it's like Cooper has worked with him before, so it's hard to say. I mean, Swansea are going to let him go. I just don't know. I mean, I didn't really see him for Swansea because I didn't watch Swansea.
I think he played quite a bit last season for Swansea. So
if it's like he was playing regularly this season and we were interested in him, I'd be like, okay, if he's playing regularly for that Swansea team.
I mean, he's only played He's only played 4 times this season.
Yeah, so
last season he played 40 games, scored 3, assisted 3. Which is pretty good, to be fair. And then the year before, 36 games. The year before, 33. So this season he's just fell out of favour quite a lot. He was at Wigan before that, and he was a bit out of favour with Swansea as well. He's been at Swansea a long time. Wow.
So it's like,
wow.
We can also add in them players that are I sent the tweet.
Yeah. He's been at Swansea since 2013. Wow, I didn't even know that. But yeah, yes, I see what you sent now. I've heard of both of them actually. We'll talk about them now. Keenan Davis and Florian Balogun. Balogun. I would really like Keenan Davis, to be honest.
Keenan Davis.
I think that would be a great signing.
I think
Keenan Davis.
He's good as well, that Balogun.
Honestly, I'd be very happy with either of them. I think
Keenan
personally
Davis.
Better than any of the strikers I've written down here in Brewster, Gale, and Ida.
It's Keenan Davis time.
Let's talk about that. Would he? I mean, I think Keenan Davis would be great, and I think Balogun would be. I know Balogun played at the start of the season for Arsenal. So I don't know why it stands out, but I think he played the first game of the year actually. So, I mean, if you could choose between one of those two, who would you prefer?
Keenan Davis.
I agree.
I think it'd be... I think Keenan Davis would be the most likely choice, but I think
Under
if
the
we want
better
to
choice.
if we want to go like, you know,
Mhm.
beyond that, then I think Balogun.
No.
You think we're
Because-
more likely to keep Balogun than Davis?
I think Arsenal will probably send Balogun to like West Brom or something like that. Bournemouth, because they've been linked
yeah.
with.
I think Davis is more likely, to be honest, if we're going to sign either of them.
Mm.
And I personally would prefer him. I wouldn't mind Balogun, though. I know more about Keenan Davis, and he has played more Premier League games than Balogun.
Who's left?
Bray's just given up. We'll have to just continue without him for a bit. Not that there isn't not much more we can really say at the moment. Who else was I going to mention? A player, believe it or not. Oh yes, 2 players we've got currently out on loan. I thought it was worth talking about them. I actually saw a report today about Nuno da Costa, that potentially he might get another chance. I personally wouldn't be that interested in that. What would you say with that?
I think he's been played out of position every time we've played with him. I think
Yeah, true.
he's been playing out on the left wing, and he's a striker. So
Yeah.
I think if we were to give him another chance, it'd probably be in that striker role. Because I think he's a bit fast, isn't he? He's got a bit of pace. Probably
Yeah,
not.
he's not that bad. Yeah.
So it's like he could do something, but will he be the goal scorer, or will he be the assist person?
I think he's more likely to be assist, to be honest.
Mm.
I mean, I've only seen him play once in the flesh, and he didn't even do that much. That was against Bradford, I think. And then he got loaned out immediately. Literally, he was on loan the whole last season, came back, played like half a game, and he gets loaned out again. And he's doing pretty well in France from what I've seen. And I think they quite like him there. But Samba's old club, of course. But like, I personally think I think that ship's kind of sailed.
If he's played in the right position and he's getting the ball fed to him like Graban is now, I think he could be good. But it's just the fact of, will he play for us again? Because I think his only goal he scored for us is an own goal, so that should say everything, really.
And quite a significant own goal, really, unfortunately for us. I wanted to mention him as well, because arguably this is way more important if we're going to record one of these. I'd like to see Ioane come back, given our incredible depth at left back. Even if we were to get Bentoni, how do you say his name? Benito. How do I forget that? Yeah, Benito. I still think Ioane would be pretty useful, because, like, we've got like 4 options at right back. We've got 2 currently at left back. So I wouldn't be against that at all.
Yeah, me neither. I think he's one of them ones where it's like he fell out with Houghton. I mean, who didn't? Let's be honest.
Probably everyone did.
So it's like
Ray's back.
He could be someone who could be good. I mean, we all know how good he actually was, though.
Yeah, he played 5 games at the start of last season. He got sent off against Luton, and we never saw him again. And he looked pretty quick. Quite. I don't really have to describe him. I didn't see him enough, but I think he's better than Bongs from what I saw. Like, even in a really, at the time, bad team in very bad form, he did look pretty good. So I wouldn't be against Ioane. And the left back situation is so frustrating because it was so avoidable. Like, selling Yuri for nothing, loaning out Ioane, 2 great left backs there, gone. One, he's still our player technically. And then we keep the worst one by a country mile in Bong. And then we get in a fantastic left back in Max Lowe, but he's on loan. It's just such a stupid, how we dealt with left back was so stupid. And it's costing us really. You know, the one player we couldn't afford to get injured really was Lowe, and he's got injured for 2 months. But yeah, it's just one of those things really. I think there's only really one more player we ought to mention. Forest they're obviously a bit like Johnson. He's been linked with tons of clubs. Obviously, we're talking about Joe Worrall here. Do you think he'll go in January? I personally don't think he will, but I could see him going in the summer, to be quite honest.
I think it's all down to what the other team offers for him. I think if they offer us 15, 16 million, we're not going to turn it down.
It's
But
true.
If we want to have a chance of going up, we need to be keeping players like Worrall, McKenna, Johnson, all them types of players.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be, if we need to sell, we need to be selling we need to be selling and bringing in players that will improve our team. Not like players who come in, it's about 34 years old, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, if you saw Worrall's interview with Robin Chipperfield, he said very clearly, like, he absolutely loves Forest. You know, he'll always give his absolute best, and he always does. But he also was not at all shy when he said, if I do get the right move, the right offer, everything is, you know, it's just such a good offer from a Premier League club that I want to play for, then I won't hesitate to go. I don't blame him at all for saying that, because at the end of the day, you know, a player like Worrall does want to play, every player, but particularly a player like Worrall, they want to play in the top flight. And if he was to leave, I wouldn't be like, you know, annoyed with him, like with an Assombalonga, someone like that, a Lansbury that left, didn't better the career. Someone like Cash and Antonio, they've bettered their career by a mile. Worrall will do that. So at the end of the day, Worrall has been loyal to us. Like, he could have left like 2 years ago, really. Like, I thought when we bottled the playoffs would leave, to be quite honest, and he's still here. So, you know, I mean, obviously loads of clubs are interested. Brentford have, West Ham, you know, plenty of clubs. I think West Ham's the main one. Burnley is another. But I don't think he'd leave halfway through the season, to be quite honest. I think he probably would go in the summer if the offer's right for him. But yeah, I mean, I've covered most of the players. I think we should talk about the rest of the games this year. Obviously, the festive period. We've got Hull at home, Borough away, Huddersfield at home, and Barnsley at home. So we've got quite a few home games coming up. And obviously, after that, we've got games against Arsenal and Derby, but that's kind of going past festive period. Are you confident going into the festive period? I mean, we're kind of already in it, aren't we, really? But
yeah, I think it's one of them ones where it's like, if we can get the players that we want to, which we seem to be going after quite a bit of them, we can obviously be hopeful. I think the teams we're coming up against, they are going to be difficult, because every team in the Championship is difficult. You never know what the result's going to be. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously our home form has been pretty up and down, more down than up, really. We've got 3 home games there. How many points would you be happy with out of Hull, Borough, Huddersfield and Barnsley? Because obviously 2 of those are struggling, 2 of them are doing pretty well.
Not to toot our own horns, we should be beating Hull, but they are a very good team at the moment.
They're on great form, to be fair to them.
I think we need to be beating, or need to be getting points from every single one of them, whether it be a draw or something like that. So
for me, the only one, and given the fact it is at home, it would be a bit disappointing. The only one that I think would be at all acceptable if we did lose would be Huddersfield, because they're doing pretty well, but it would also be quite disappointing at the same time. So it wouldn't be great if we did lose to them. But like you say, I think Hull should be a win, really, even though they're doing pretty well. Borough, are very up and down. And obviously Barnsley are nothing close to what they were last year. So we have some pretty winnable games. We'll let Bray talk. What do you think of that run, Bray? How do you think we'll do?
I think we've got some very, very winnable games, and we should be winning them. Or drawing them, but just certainly not losing them. Because we've got teams who, Huddersfield we've beat, and the other two, I think that they're down there. Barnsley aren't doing very well at all. I mean, if not for Derby being extremely fraudulent, then they would be bottom. And I haven't got a clue how Hull are doing.
Yeah,
I don't really care, to be honest.
They're about 6 games unbeaten at the moment. So
really,
yeah, they're doing well.
Well, if we can shut Keane Lewis Potter up, then we'll be right. If we can't, then he could be a big problem.
Yeah, they're the 19th in the Championship, but they haven't lost for quite a while. They drew Bristol and Reading the last 2 games, and they won.
Hold on, is that away at Bristol?
No, it's at home to Bristol, away at Reading, your favourite ground, of course. They beat Millwall.
My
Cardiff.
what?
Yeah, my mouse slipped then. They beat Millwall. They beat Cardiff, Birmingham, and Barnsley. So they're on pretty good form. Woods is replicating Lyle Taylor. What a picture. So yeah, I think that kind of covers it really, doesn't it, for the podcast? Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have enjoyed it, please drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. Follow all of us, in fact. Follow Woods on Twitter for top quality content. Follow Bray, follow me. That'd be very polite if you do. Follow RadsCast and let us know ideas, because we need them, really. If you want us to do more of these, help us out. I think we could do like a year review, maybe, of Forest when the year's over. So yeah, copyright.
Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Heat. Bread. Lucy doesn't like cheese.
Also ended up not having Corona.
Yes, I was going to ask you your result. You're fine. Good.
This is one of those.
Much like Forest football under Chris Hughton, this result is extremely negative. And that will be me done for today. Goodbye.
Excellent. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you very soon.